Welcome to the Popko Project Podcast. Suicide puppets from Harrisburg. How you guys doing?
Good man, how you doing?
Not too bad. I'm not
Good.
taking you away from the Penn State game, am I?
You're all right. You're all right. I got it up on my phone.
I feel bad. You jumped on it. You got the Penn State hat. I'm like, oh man, I'm a jerk.
It's all good. It's all good. No worries. This is
Well,
more important.
it's funny. You said, hey, how's Friday? I'm like, I try and keep that date open, for family. If we go out for dinner, and like my sons will stay up a little bit later on Fridays, and I'm like, how's Thursday? And then I realized, I'm like, wait, Thursday is the Penn State Notre Dame game, and I'm like, okay, it starts at 7:30. Like, I'll watch a little bit of it before we start. No big deal. I'm not a huge college football fan. I follow Penn State because my dad, who passed away almost 20 years ago, he was a big Penn State fan, and we
Yeah.
went to some games, and so I follow it just for him. And I guess it's a big deal here in northeastern area, PA.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I call Penn State a cult.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean that's fair.
no offense, it's just like it's
None
like this
taken.
cult mentality. Like, I have friends who went to Penn State for college, and that's all I talk about. It's 20 years removed, and they're still talking about Penn State. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, I get it, dude.
I
I
get it.
mean,
No, I'm not.
you're
It's
you're
fine.
not gonna offend me. Look at the band I'm in. You know what I mean? You're gonna call Penn State fans a cult? Come on.
Yeah, you might be actually running a cult, like a legit cult.
Mm, well, that is a fair assessment.
And after I watched that video, I'm like, oh boy, I don't know. So, but suicide puppets, not to be confused with sick puppies, which I want to keep saying. I don't know why.
I,
At
Crazy.
a,
That's all right. Like I said, man, you wouldn't be the first one.
is that common?
I wouldn't say it's common, but it
Not common,
happens.
but it's happened before. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't. It must be the SP. I don't know.
probably.
But how you guys doing? What's going on?
Just another beautiful Thursday evening.
Yeah. LA is
Nothing crazy.
burning.
Just yeah, right. Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. Unbelievable, really. It's well, I shouldn't say that because I mean people have been talking about it for a while now. In fact, I think Rogan maybe a few months ago said he was talking to, I think, a firefighter, and he said the firefighter said that, I think it was a firefighter, regardless, it was somebody he was talking to, and he said
Yeah.
it's all it's going to take is one fire with the right amount of wind, and it's going to burn right to the ocean. And it's
What do they
crazy.
have? 95-mile-an-hour winds?
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, look where they're at now. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw a picture, and I don't think it's true because I think I would have seen more of it, but and I heard last night that the Hollywood sign was in jeopardy of burning up, and I don't know if that's
Oh
true or
no,
not. I saw a picture, but again, we're living in 2025 now, and AI is taking over, and
crazy.
you never know what's real and what's not. So
Fair.
I feel like if that was real, I feel like news outlets would have had that as like a lead image on a story somewhere. So
Well, sure, because the Hollywood sign's iconic.
iconic, yeah. I mean, LA, California. I mean, it's the whole state is kind of like iconic, and it's just terrible. People are losing their homes, and
Oh, totally. Yeah.
hopefully the death count's not too high. Last I knew it was like
Mm.
two, but
It's
that was
five now.
yesterday. Is it five now?
Five.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess that's not
Five too many.
terrible, all things considered.
Well, sure.
It's way too many. Yeah, right. It's and then if you get into the whole political game of it, you're hearing like this could have been avoided or things could have been done as precautionary terms, and I don't know. I don't have to get into politics too much, so.
Neither do we. And we,
So
we all have our viewpoints, but we just don't.
yeah. I mean,
We don't get into it.
yeah.
We make it a rule not to talk about it publicly.
This is like Thanksgiving dinner. Don't talk about it.
I mean, after a few whiskeys, who knows? But
Yeah,
just kidding.
anything's possible. But you guys reached out to me. I appreciate you guys hitting me up, and you shared your new single. You just released it last week. I
Mhm.
think that was what January 3rd.
Yeah, last Friday. Yep.
It's called
Thank you
Piggy.
so much for playing that too. By the way, it was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with me there. It's the one the show got bumped from Saturday to Sunday, and there was dead air at one point. A late
I know.
start.
I'm listening and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
like dead air.
Well, the show gets bumped because we also, for whatever reason, we also carry some high school sports like at night, and then also the Steelers games.
Yeah.
So the Steelers had a game uh late last Saturday, so I
Hmm.
got bumped. I guess I'm not. I guess I'm take the back seat to the Steelers, and I'm getting bumped this week too. So
Ah.
I hope those assholes lose.
Yeah. Go birds. Go birds.
I'm an Eagles fan, yeah.
Hell
So,
yeah, man.
but yeah, so Suicide Puppets Harrisburg just released a single that's going to be on an upcoming EP, which I think is due out in February, right?
That is correct.
And you're having a
Yeah,
big.
um we haven't officially announced the actual release date. But yeah,
Okay,
well, we did announce our EP release party, which is what Twisty, February 15th, the following day.
15.
yes,
Yeah, February 15th at Love Drafts.
right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's going to be with Traverse the Abyss, great local band out of our area,
Yes, sir.
Glampire and Jungle Dream.
Yes, sir.
I've never been to Love Drafts before.
It's awesome.
Is it?
It's totally a
It,
place
it,
that you would see us play at.
Okay,
if you haven't been
It's
there,
not.
you should go there.
I should go there.
Especially people of the older generation, let's put it that way.
Yeah,
It brings back all your childhood memories.
Well, that
there's
and they have like skeletons everywhere. There's that.
so this is
Well,
like
those
been
are my childhood memories.
this was meant for you guys.
Oh yeah, when that place opened up, it used to be a Quaker Steak and Lube, and
Oh,
then
really?
yeah, and then it turned it to Love Drafts Brewing Company, because there's also one in downtown Harrisburg. It's a smaller venue, but this one's the bigger one in Mechanicsburg that we're going to be playing at. But when they turned it into I think initially it was just supposed to be a brewery, and then they decided to bring bands in, and they've been killing it since they started. They get big acts coming through there too.
Is it a big venue?
I think since they rearranged it,
700
it's like
maybe?
yeah, 700 or 800 cap, so it's a fairly large
That's
room.
decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like nothing in our area anymore in any PA, like the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area. Like 20 years ago, there used to be a lot of places. I guess the
We
biggest
have a few
place
down here. We
in
have
Harrisburg.
yeah, we have HMAC, which I love that place too. And then
Yeah.
there's FL, which I'm okay with both places, but Love Drafts is just more of a personal place.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
If
more
that
a little
makes
bit
any
more
sense.
intimate. Well, yeah, I
Well,
mean,
you
compared
go
to
in there
like,
and the owner talks to you.
Okay.
yeah, well, that and the size difference between HMAC, XL, and Love Drafts is considerably different. HMAC, their upstairs is what 1,600 cap, something like
I,
that. So
I
that's a
think
large room. But the downstairs is what 300, something like that. And then
three
XL,
to five. It's not
yeah,
much.
and I think XL is about the same, like what 1,500 cap. I think that's a huge
They're
building.
they're a bigger venue. They might be even 1,800 to 2,000. They might be a little bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. I think probably the biggest venue in our area outside of like the FM Kirby Center, which is like a theater, um, would probably be the Ritz, which is Josh Ball's place, which you guys have a connection with.
Just a smidge. Yeah, he's our manager.
How did that come to be? I mean, I've known Josh for maybe 10 years now, maybe a little longer, but great guy, obviously. Love the fact that he and James, have the Ritz and they're doing a lot of
Oh
great
yeah.
things there. And how did you guys hook up with Josh?
Funny
So
story.
long
Tell him,
story.
Dan.
Yeah, yeah. So long story short, I had bought a tour bus. Oh God, because we went out on tour with Soulfly in 21. So I bought a tour bus prior to that Soulfly tour, and I wound up selling it. And the person that bought it off me was Josh Balls.
Really?
And that's literally how this relationship started because I sold him my old tour bus.
Does he still have that? Is that sitting in his church parking lot?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
The American Eagle, yeah, man.
That guy owns so much random stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have you ever been inside of his church?
No.
Oh man, there's so much. We shot a music video in there for our song "Pray" off of our last EP, Beyond the Veil, and there's so much cool stuff in there. Isn't there like an alchemist that has like a shop in
Yeah.
there or something?
It's just the most random shit you'll ever see. You walk around, there'll
Caskets
be
everywhere.
a mechanical thing you would see at a theater park was off to the side, and then you'd look over and the lights are like lights with bats hanging on them and shit.
Oh yeah, dude,
the most
those are sick.
randomized shit you've ever seen in your life.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
that's
never.
so cool.
Downstairs in the basement, there was Castle Grayskull, for Christ's sakes.
Hell yeah, there was. It's awesome.
I don't live far from there, and I've never been in it.
It's cool, man. It's a cool little spot for sure.
I've driven past it. I've seen the tour bus. So you guys connected with Josh. Share a little bit about what Josh has done for you.
He's done quite a bit. The last EP we put out, Beyond the Veil, we recorded at his studio up in Scranton, Legacy Recording. But I guess that's been torn down. He's supposed to be moving it to the Ritz, and actually, Twisty is going to be the GC on that. I don't know where we're at in that process, but he wanted to produce a song for us, and that's when we went up to Legacy. And originally, we're just going to put out a single, Death Note. Then it turned into the full EP, Beyond the Veil. And then that led to the relationship with the engineers he had at that studio, Kyle and Eric. Kyle has the sister studio in Massachusetts, which is Railroad Park Recording.
Right.
So when we recorded this EP, we went to Massachusetts to go record it at Railroad Park Recording in I think it's Westport, Massachusetts.
Westport.
Yeah. And then the guy that mixed it is Dan Mausch. Now I'm not sure if you're familiar with who he is or not, but he just did like Gojira's latest album. He's done a lot of Ghost. So that gave us that relationship there too. So we got Dan Mausch mixing our stuff, which is mind blowing to me. Yeah, and it's just he's given us a lot of opportunities. He's a lot of mentorship and there's words I can't think of right now. Guidance, thank you. Yeah. Mentorship, guidance, stuff like that. Yeah, he's been extremely helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some experience, I guess. Just in a little band called Motionless in White back in the day.
Who?
Did you guys see he got on stage with them in here in Wilkes-Barre?
We didn't see it live, but we saw it on video.
I saw video too. Yeah, I didn't see it live.
That's sick.
Yeah,
it was sick, man.
That was wild. I couldn't believe they sold out. I think did they sell out night 2? I know they sold out the first night on Halloween, and then I don't know if they sold out or close to sell out on November 1st. But back-to-back shows in NEPA. That's pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
But
homecoming, man.
I've got Veritas was stage names, Veritas and Twisty here.
Yeah.
As far as the band goes, what do you guys do in the band?
I hit things.
You hit things.
I say random shit.
Twisty just screams at us all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, that's what vocalists do, right? They just,
Yeah.
At least in our genre of music, he just screams at us all the time.
Yeah, your genre is, well, I've enjoyed it because I listen to it now at the gym. It's definitely definitely that style of music that gets you going.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I have to be in the right headspace for your music. So it's perfect for the gym.
I get it. Yeah.
I can't wake up to you guys. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, maybe it would definitely get you out of bed. It's like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, you're right. And how long has Suicide Puppets been a band?
4 million years. Oh God, what would you say, Twisty? 17 years?
We're approaching up on 20.
Wow. That's hard to that like you don't hear that often anymore.
Oh, I know it.
What
Yeah,
what
we've been
keeps the
around for a
magic
hot minute.
alive?
The core group of
We
guys that
rub
are
each
in the
other's
band.
bellies.
I'm trying to get rid of mine.
Int- I was about to start doing like, never mind. Never mind. No, it's just the core group of guys. Like the original members of this band are myself, Twisty, Johnny, and Steven Suicide, and we're still together. I left for a period of time. I had some personal stuff I had to take care of, and as soon as I moved back to Pennsylvania, they brought me back in with open arms, and it's like we never skipped a beat.
That's cool.
So it's always been the same core group of dudes, and we get along really well, surprisingly.
I guess you'd have to if you've been together for almost 20 years.
Oh yeah.
It's a long time. So you guys are no spring chickens, I guess you could say. You've been at this for
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
well, how did you guys get
Well,
together? I mean, how did you guys meet 20 years ago?
Well, Twisty and Johnny have been friends for ever since you guys were kids.
yeah.
So this was
Yep.
this was originally what? This was your idea, Twisty, this project, correct?
No. Here's the funny story. I was pulled into a project and they weren't writing anything. So I was the only one writing. And then the drummer and the guitarist were like, blah, 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 pissy about this and that. And I'm like, look, I don't need either one of you. I'll just replace you with other people. You can't replace me. I started this band. Well, what do you have to take with you? Nothing. So me and Johnny had called, I think, Dan first, Veritas, to replace the drummer immediately. Yep, that's the guy. What was it? Maybe a year later, we got Steven?
I think it was about a year later Steven Suicide came in, yeah.
Yeah. So originally, there's no real original members of this band. The guys that originally started it, we pushed out, changed, and twisted everything around, and made it to what it is now.
Right, but the original inception had a completely different name though too.
Yeah, it was a different name.
So
It was
Suicide Puppets
Fine
as
Art
a
of Hate.
whole. Yeah.
Right. Suicide Puppets as a whole is what we are now. But originally we were Fine Art of Hate. And I was on the internet one day and seen that we were playing a hate rally. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't agree to this and I didn't even know anything about it. So
Oopsie.
we immediately changed the name right after that. We're like, oh, okay. We're skipping out from that name because apparently they think we're a hate group.
Wow.
So, and it was never intended to be anything like that. It was just that's what the name was.
So where did Suicide Puppets come from?
I believe it was just there was
It was
a program.
Band name generator, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a band name generator. And you'd throw in and it would just came up. I'm like, all right, yep, that's cool. Let's do that. So that's where it was.
That's it. Well, it's funny.
Technically, we were named by AI.
Yeah, before AI was here. Yeah.
Ironically, it was probably AI then. It would just find names that weren't taken.
Well, it's funny when you named it, back, almost 20 years ago. We didn't have, Facebook and things like that, or did we? No. MySpace, right?
MySpace is where it was, yeah.
But so when you search your name now, like on Facebook, it almost asks you like, "Are you sure you want to continue forward with this?" And I'm like,
Every
"Yes,
time, dude.
yes." Well, it's funny. I there's a band here. Their name is Starving Hysterical Naked. Same thing.
Oh,
When you type that in,
oh, because
it's like
it's starving.
no, I think it's naked.
You know, this has to do a lot with society just being a bunch of pussies. Again, it's a word.
Well,
Get over it.
no, well, no, I get it though, and like people are a little bit more
I
self-aware
don't.
about.
It, if you're
Well,
getting
I,
sensitive about a word, there's something wrong with it. You know, it's the goddamn word.
Yeah.
no,
Get
I
over it.
get it. I know where Twisty's coming from with that. I totally get it, but I also
Hmm.
see the other aspect of it too. Like I'm a combat veteran, so I suffer from PTSD and anxiety, so I understand the mental side of it. But being in this band is very cathartic for me. But that's a whole nother story. So I get the other side of it too. You know what I mean? Like people are just a little bit more conscious, I guess, about it. But like it gets to the point where it's like too much. Like now, like literally, like you're gonna search suicide puppets or suicide silence or suicidal tendencies, and that all that's gonna pop up all the time. It's like really, I'm just trying to find a band.
Right. I wonder if Zuckerberg just came out the other day saying that they're gonna kind of loosen things up a bit.
As they should.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I agree. I
Let
think they
people deal
should.
with problems. You know, you can't hide behind a shelter. You got to
Yeah.
be able to deal with things. You know, and a word is the least of your problems.
Right.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that'll have an effect on searching your name in the future.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Hopefully, it makes it easier.
you guys have been around for a while. It's how has the landscape changed for you guys as far as it's got to be difficult, right? Because like you guys started in a certain time, right? Where
Well,
things
yeah,
weren't.
back then, those words didn't matter. You know, people let it roll off their backs. It's not
Yeah.
like that anymore.
Well, just everything. It's
Well,
the whole industry, like the whole
for sure.
thing is just like completely, I don't want to say upside down. It's just like changed so much. And you guys started this band in a time where there weren't those governors and things like that to kind of halt any kind of progress or anything like that. How have you guys been able to kind of navigate that, as a band who started in a certain time and how kind of moving into 2025 and things are just completely different.
You
Well,
know,
the band. Oh,
imagine Pepsi all of a sudden was a word that nobody wanted to associate it with because it had a bad experience for them. They're not going to change their name, and we can't either. You know, we've taken 20 years to establish the name and establish everything that we have. You can't go backwards, you know, because nobody will know who the hell you are if you change your name to something else. The
well, and
20
not
years
only
that we put into it would make no sense.
Right.
yeah, well, not only that, the band started what 05, 07, somewhere around that time
Oh
frame.
yeah, yeah. Oh five.
And now, not to say we did get pushback a couple of times from the band name, like, "Are you guys promoting suicide?" Well, no, we are all about serial killers, murder, and death because we're nice and fluffy that way. Like, we don't really we don't promote suicide.
Yeah.
And we are horror. Like that's our thing is horror. You know what I mean? So we did get pushback a couple times, but actually, I think we got more pushback then than we do now,
Okay.
which is odd.
That is odd. There was a
Well,
And the
band.
only time the
we're
only time
we're
anything
established
weird pops
now.
up, no, I was saying the only time anything weird pops up is when you try to search for us on Facebook. That's it.
Yeah.
Like Instagram, it'll find us right away. TikTok, I think TikTok might be a little funky. I'm not 100% sure. YouTube, you can find us right away. Twitter, you can find us
You
right
know,
away. It's just Facebook.
You're on.
remember we had a problem with Google where I had to email Google saying, hey, you know, we're a band.
Oh,
We're
that's
not.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our .com was getting flagged for like what was it getting flagged for? Like it was like spyware or something, like a malicious
Spyware,
website.
yeah, because malicious website because of the name. And I emailed them, and within a week, they dropped all of that.
That's good. There's a band here called Syphilis.
Nice.
And it wasn't even spelled the correct way, but they actually changed their name to Spitcan because they wanted to try and get to that next level, and they were told like, hey, like, the name might hinder your ability to get to the next level. You should probably change it.
Maybe. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, we're like unapologetically proud of who we are. I guess. Like, you know, we're not going to change the
I'm not
name of our
suggesting you should.
band.
I'm not
But no,
suggesting you should.
yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, if somebody's like, well, you need to change your name, like, or you're not going to get this record deal. Okay, sorry. Then obviously you don't really like us for us.
Right.
It's a name. We've had that name for 20 years. Everybody knows it. We're not going to change. If this band was in its infancy, yeah, I might consider a name change, but
Yeah.
not now.
And what kind of success have you had over the years? You know, being together for 20 years and you know, being at it that long. Obviously, you have you know, many years under your belt. You got some EPs out, records, and all that kind of stuff. Like, what kind of success have you had over the years?
It's been hit or miss. But I'd say probably the last what would you say, Twisty? Probably the last 5 years, things have really been picking up.
5 years, yeah. 5 years
Things
really
have
picked up.
really been picking up. Because in our old management team got us on tour with Soulfly, and that opened up so many doors. So many doors. Because Dino from Fear Factory, he was playing guitar for Soulfly on that tour, so we started that relationship. We have a relationship with John Bechtel from Ministry, AC Slade from Dope and Murder Dolls. Yeah, it's probably within the last 5 years has been really picking up steam for sure.
So Josh has a lot of work to do.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Josh has a lot more doors to open up for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's done quite a bit already. Like with the release of this new EP that we have coming up, like even with the release of the single, he's been very helpful in guiding us in a certain way. Because like when we did it on our own, like we didn't really know what
If
we
you
were
don't
doing.
know, you don't know.
Yeah. So he's been very helpful in the guidance of that and how we go about doing things and this and that. So like the release of this new EP is leaps and bounds of what we've done before.
Okay. I mean, let's talk about Piggy. It's a great song. There's a video for it as well, and I got to be honest, watching that gave me a lot of anxiety.
It's a small 3.5-minute horror film, man.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about the song itself, and then we'll get into the video part of that.
Yeah, Piggy. I don't even know. I think Twisty came up with the original guitar riff for that song. If memory serves. Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, Twisty wrote the original guitar riff. Everybody kind of wrote their little parts to it. And to be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie. When we first put it together, I wasn't 100% sold on the song. I'm like, it's okay. But once we recorded it and it got it mixed, I was like, this song is flipping awesome. It turned out great. The song, what's the song actually about, Twisty?
Piggy? There was I was randomly listening to a YouTube thing on serial killers, and it was in my background noise of me doing my paperwork about a serial killer who had killed people and buried them in a site, and it was turned into a construction site, and they were going to go do construction. The guy dug him up to move him to somewhere else, and as he was doing that, he got caught. Wow. So
that's a real story?
Yeah, it's a real story. I can't remember the name of the serial killer. It was just something I was listening to. I listen to that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, that kind of sounds crazy that you're doing paperwork listening to.
Well, I own a business, so well, you got to have something to listen to. You know, some people listen to.
I mean, it goes along with our ethos. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Serial killers, murder, and death, man. Why not? I mean, you got to find your not motivation, your inspiration from
Yeah.
somewhere, right? Yeah.
Right. You got to do your homework.
Yeah. I'm not knocking
Well,
it. Just
yeah. I mean, we have a lot of songs that are about serial killers. Like 666 is about Richard Ramirez. What is it? Every Days is what that's based off of Richard Kuklinski, I think.
Richard
Right, Twisty?
Kuklinski. Yep.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Not
So
to
yeah,
say
there's
that a serial killer is somebody you should idolize, but you know what I mean. Like that guy was really deranged, and the
people love
fact
that
that
shit.
well, dude, and the crazy part about Kuklinski was he was such a family man. Like he was able to separate the two.
Yeah.
Like he wound up being a contract killer for the mob. Eventually down the road, and like he was so good at his job, like his wife just thought he was a businessman. Like he was just able to separate it. And there's if you watch the interview with him at the end, he starts tearing up because he was upset that he let down his family. That's all he wanted to do was take care of his family. Loved his family to death. Hated everybody else. I loved his family to death.
didn't mind blowing your head off, but loved his family.
Make sure you're on their good side.
Yeah, no kidding. You never know who lives in your neighborhood. Like this guy lived like in an upscale Jersey neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, that's what's always like
Crazy.
very intriguing about that kind of stuff. It's like, when movies come true, it's like it's wild.
Yeah,
And
you look around and maybe it's your neighbor. You have no idea.
yeah, maybe.
Are you Richard Kuklinski too? What skeletons do you have in your closet?
And women love that stuff.
Yeah.
Women love it. And they find them like very
All
attractive.
those true crime stories. Yeah, right.
They think the killers are very attractive. Like it's like, wait, are you nuts? This guy will kill you. So a lot of your songs are about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We try to stay in the
Probably
horror realm.
90% of it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because I don't know if we want to give away the concept at all, but the way all I can say is the first video that you saw, there's going to be more of that.
Okay.
For Piggy. So yeah, that's as much as I'm giving on
All
that.
Right. Fair enough. But the video is cool. Talk about that.
Yeah. So J-Ball, Josh. Oh my goodness. I'm drawing a blank on his last name. Sorry, Josh. The videographer that did the music video, he'd been wanting to do a music video for us for like 2 years. And things just could never line up. And finally, we were on a time crunch for this music video. So, okay, I got to back up like months. So we recorded the EP in July in Massachusetts. It got finished up in post production with Dan. The beginning of December, Twisty, I think somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, and we had Piggy slated to drop January 3rd. So here we are, we're like a month out from the drop, and we don't even have a music video yet. So, in the time crunch that we had, I got a hold of Josh. I was like, hey, man, can you do a music video in like this amount of time? He's like, well, it's perfect because December is my slow time. I'm literally doing nothing. So we gave him the song, we gave him the lyrics, and he came up with a general idea. He came up with a general idea of what would be good for a music video. And he goes, okay, where do you want to shoot it? Well, Twisty lives on like 4 billion acres in the middle of nowhere. So we wound up filming it out there. So he came out to look at the site, and which of course gave him more ideas. And then it turned into what it turned into, and it turned out great. Bill did an excellent job as one of the killers. My wife Amy, she's the other killer who's in the film. She did a great job. Ronnie, who was the victim, did a fantastic job. Everybody that was involved with the music video just did it. It knocked it out of the park. It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Maybe Twisty is a serial killer.
No.
Lives on a lot of land. Disappear.
There's that creepy barn that we filmed it at.
Listens to it while he's doing his paperwork, taking notes. 90% of the music is about that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I think we've cracked the case here.
He's an avid hunter.
Yeah, he has guns. Weird. It's all coming together.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I took 70.
You've been exposed. This will take my
Twisty's not only
podcast
his
to the
alter
next.
ego, it's his
Yeah,
alter
this is gonna take
ego.
my
Yeah, yeah.
podcast to the next level. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'd like to. It's now true crimes. Sorry,
I've been watching a
no
show
longer about music.
on Peacock called "Based on a True Story." Have you heard that?
Oh, I'm not familiar.
No.
The girl from The Big Bang Theory is in it. What's her name?
The blonde,
The
the
blonde,
blonde
yeah.
girl. Oh, God, I can't think of her name.
Casey, something Kuko or something.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
she's hot.
Fair.
It's a great show. They just released or season 2. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you probably enjoy that a little bit. It's not gory or anything like that. It's just well done, but it's about a serial killer, and it might be on your next to watch list, I guess.
Could be inspiration
Start
for the next album.
taking notes.
We did have a song about Dexter at one point. I don't remember which one that was, though.
Wasn't that Absolute Sinner?
Yeah, it was. It was Center.
Yeah, that's on the last EP.
How many EPs do you have out?
2 EPs, a full length. We have 2 EPs and a full length. No, we had 2 full lengths.
Technically, we have 2 full lengths. If you can find the first one, don't listen to it.
Yeah, that was god awful.
What made it awful?
Everything.
We didn't know what we were doing. Bad
No,
studios, bad.
Well, bad
We didn't even
studio
record in
as
the
in
studio.
Johnny's garage.
Josh's place.
Well, that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
Fair. But it sounded awful. We did our best, you know.
And do you have a lot of videos for the
Knew what
songs,
we were
or
doing. There's
Are
10 or
you
12
talking-
songs on that one.
Wait, are you talking about the first album? The first album we don't have any music videos for. We actually didn't start doing music videos until the last EP, if we're being honest. Yeah.
is there a reason for that? Because I feel like you guys, being old school, like that was always something that we did. Musicians did like music and music videos. That's like kind of goes hand in hand.
It does, but at the time, our financial situation was
Right.
not conducive
What it is
to
now.
our situation. Yeah. Well, because Twisty's a business owner now. I'm a business owner. You know what I mean? So, like, we've gotten older. We've gotten wiser. We've gotten better with money.
Maybe you could teach my wife a thing or two.
Oh, man.
And me. I'm guilty too.
I'm still not good with money. That's what my wife's for.
Just spend it. It's like, it comes and goes.
I can always make more.
Sure. But I guess too, I guess nowadays it's even like recording records back in the day was, a financial challenge, right? But I guess nowadays too, it's probably a little easier to, have music videos done as well.
Look, videos and recording, it ends up costing you a pretty massive amount of money if you want it done right and done well.
Oh, sure.
So, not everybody's gonna be able to just push out good videos and good recordings without knowing somebody that's good at it and is a buddy of theirs.
Right.
Well, what's interesting though, if you go back through our back catalog on Spotify or iTunes, whatever, you can see the progression of different studios we've gone to. They've gotten progressively better.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and this one is hands down probably the best sounding EP music we've ever put out. Thanks to Railroad Park Recording and then Dan Mausch mixing it. Like it's phenomenal. I mean, you heard Piggy. That's probably the best sounding song we've ever had.
Has it?
Yeah, we
It's
had
hard.
Kyle and Josh producing it, which really helped out as well. So,
yeah, I mean, and it's hard to capture the way we sound live in the studio. And this is pretty damn close.
That's good. Talk about your live shows. Like what could people expect? I mean, I've seen some pictures. The one that you sent me the other day terrifies me. Specifically, the one guy, the one guy in the back with the mask on. Like, I hate masks. I can't. Like,
Z.
it's it's one thing. The one guy with the just the over his face and nose, I can handle that because I can see their eyes. But if the eyes are
Sure.
covered, forget it. I'm out.
Yeah, so those pictures I sent you we went to Three Hive out in the Reading area to go do a photo shoot.
Is that what the guy from what the hell's his name?
Well, I believe the manager of the place is Iggy, and Iggy was, I guess he was Josh's right hand man for the management stuff, but now it's all Josh. I'm not sure how that's all working out right now. But doesn't that? Oh shoot!
The guy from that cover band, super popular.
No, I'm googling it
Oh
now.
shit! What is that guy? Don't tell me! Don't tell me! Don't tell me! They used to play like to nobody at nightcaps in Edwardsville back in the day. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts.
Right.
If you find it, you could tell me. Oh man, this is gonna drive me
Well, the
nuts.
founder is Jeff
Jeff.
Tomrell.
Yes. Yes.
Is
Yes.
that right?
Jeff.
Yeah.
Go Gadget.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it.
Go Gadget. And they would play Thon at Penn State.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, they would, and they, huge arena. Like, I mean, that band. I mean, like I said, I saw them when they first started out, early, well, maybe mid 2000s, um, playing to a handful of people, and then, that's a well-oiled machine. I don't think Jeff is involved in that band anymore, but they've put together like a sick lineup as far as like, playing the stuff that's on the radio, and what a great band.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I forget where we're going with that. You said Three Hive.
Yeah, no, that the photos were taken there at Three
Oh,
Hive
okay.
For a photo shoot that we did. We did a whole bunch of photos just because we were coming into 25 and we wanted a new fresh look for the band for the release of the EP. So the two photos I sent you were just a very small sample size of what photos we got from that studio. But as far as the live show goes, pretty much full Monty. No, expect it to be like a horror, like it's basically a horror show on stage.
Okay.
We do the full makeup, full stage gear, costumes, regalia, whatever you want to call it. It's a whole show, man. Twisty's got a shotgun for a mic stand, which still works.
Back to that killer. I mean,
not in its current state.
right.
But if you take the pole out of it and put the firing pin and bolt back in, it'll fire.
Yeah.
That was my first shotgun.
That's creative. I like that. That's awesome.
I've had it for 18 years now.
Yeah. Now, what is the how long before the shows are you guys getting ready for that?
It depends on where we're at in the lineup.
No, it's like to get dressed and the makeup and all that kind of stuff. Does that take a while to prepare before the set?
A half hour.
Not.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
if that. I mean, to get my face paint on takes me about 5-10 minutes tops.
Because of pros.
Well,
We've done it 1,000 times.
Yeah. Well, especially when we were on tour with Soulfly, it was like, time to get ready, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that one guy, the mask, freaked me out.
the big tall guy, Z So both guys with the masks are actually
and,
fairly new to the band.
and these what 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's 6'5" naturally. Yeah.
Wow. You said naturally. Does he wear?
We want to get him in big boots, but he
It
won't put
sounded
them on.
good.
He won't wear the big boots.
He won't wear them.
What does he
I
play?
want him to be like 6'11".
What does he play?
He's a guitarist.
Guitar.
I don't know if I ever saw a guitar player that tall before.
Yeah, he's huge. He's very imposing, especially when he's got his whole gear on. When we actually did the shoot, we put him on what, like a 3-inch lift.
Yep.
So he was like super, super tall.
You saw like his chin.
And I feel like your genre, like there's like this, I don't want to say underground, but there's like this loyal cult following for your style of music. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. I mean, there is I wouldn't say mainstream side to it, but yeah.
And I mean, as far as shows go, I mean, are you picking up new followers every time you're out there playing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I always go back to the Soulfly tour because that was our first major U.S. tour. It was funny. I mean, Twisty can attest to this. Every night after we were done with our set, we go back to the merch table and people would be buying merch off of us, and everybody would be like, "I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was awesome."
Yeah. That's awesome.
That happens in about every state you can think of.
Yeah, every
Every
state
state we
on
were
that
in,
tour,
we
man.
were the same thing. Which, is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's something new for people to listen to, and we are a little different, but
We're
that's
a lot
good.
different.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not your typical metal band that you would find here in Central PA or Northeast PA or pretty much anywhere really, because we're not into blast beats. We don't do. I think our fastest song is what 150 BPM, something
Yeah.
like that.
155
You know what I
maybe.
mean? Like, and we're one of the very few bands, and there's nothing wrong with this. Don't take offense to this. We don't follow trends, right? So our guitar sound have been the same since this band has started. We haven't switched to the sound that a lot of these heavier bands are using, which I think sounds cool. Don't get me wrong, but we've stayed true to who we are. Like we don't follow any trends. We stay to who we are. We just love who we are. So we're not going to change that for anything. And I think that's what makes us stand out from the rest of everybody.
We took a long time to get our sound, because they're not just a random sound you can turn on an amp and there it is. So we took a long time getting our frequencies just how we want them and our tuning to how we want them to match everything up. So there's a lot of thought process into it rather than just plug it into, a PB 5150. That's not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually looking at frequencies and making it fit for us.
That's cool. I like how you guys kind of stayed true to what kind of how you started and just kind of not following those trends because it's so easy to get caught up in that, right? Like, we need to do this to fit this mold or whatever it might be.
Yeah, but there's already
100%.
3,000 of those.
And true to that statement, when we were out on tour with Soulfly, every single opening band from the local area all sounded the same.
Exactly the same. Every single one of them.
And what kind of helps you guys break through the noise? Because you just mentioned there's thousands of bands out there, right? Like the internet has been a blessing and a curse, I always say.
Fair.
Where you can find, music you never even knew existed before, and it's an amazing thing. But it's oversaturated, right? There's so much music. There's stuff we'll never ever hear in our lifetime because there's just not enough time in the day or not enough time in our lifetime. As far as you guys go, how do you reach new people outside of going
You just
on
got to be
tour?
different.
Yeah,
You can't be like everybody else. You have to be different.
Yeah, and that's
And,
why
and
we are what we are, for sure. Sorry, Twisty, go ahead.
you know, if you think about it, there's one AC/DC, one Ozzy Osbourne, one Marilyn Manson, one. Those are the guys that started that.
Mhm.
We're one of what we do.
Right.
Anybody who follows suit after us is just a copy of something we've done. And if you're not going to stand out and come up with something unique and different, then you're like everybody else.
Right.
And I think excuse me. I think that's why it's so hard too to break out in the metal genre in the United States, because most of your metal bands, like they're all, it's all the same stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? If you play what you dig, you know what I mean. But if you want to make some noise, stand out from the crowd. And we had a tough time. I mean, Twisty will tell you, we had a tough time in the beginning of this band. A lot of other metal bands didn't want to play with us because we weren't basically what the trending metal sound was at the time. It's like, this is just not who we are. Like, either you love us or you hate us. You know what I mean? It's not going to bother us
The
one
only
way or
band
another
that
if you
even
hate
came
us.
close, the Vivid Twisted. Those guys, they had their own sound, which ironically got picked up by somebody else.
Yeah. And how do you guys utilize social media to kind of reach new people? I struggle with social media because um I don't know, I kind of hate it, but it's a necessary evil. Like you guys mentioned you're on TikTok, right?
Yes.
Like like our generation, like we're not supposed to be on that. I don't think. So it's like weird. I mean, for me, at least for me, it's like I don't know how to,
No, dude, I,
effectively
I
utilize that.
totally get it. Dude, I totally get it. Social media is a blessing and a curse, just like you said at the same time. And I hate it so much, but you have to do it. You know, because that's where everybody's getting engaged on now.
Yeah.
Um, it's all about consistency, and it's annoying as hell, and I hate it so much, but you got to do it. Like Facebook has a break, like a. I show it to the guys every week. We have a goal to reach, post X amount of posts, make X amount of reels, get this many followers, and you get to stay a rising creator. If you stay a rising creator, then they put you in front of more people and so on and so forth. So it's literally coming up with content on a daily basis, which is easy and also a pain in the ass at the same time. It's like, okay, what do I got to come up with something that's different that hasn't been the same for the last 4,000 posts? But I mean, luckily we just had Piggy release, so we're kind of smashing that in the face right now. So that's easy to do. And with TikTok, I was actually listening to your podcast the other day. We had Lives Lost on,
Hmm.
and because they're just like right around the corner from us. They're great
Oh yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Tanis talk about TikTok, and I'm like, dude, I still haven't been able to figure it out. But what I do know, if you use the promote button and you spend a little bit of cash, it does kick up your algorithm a little bit. I have noticed that. So
Okay.
we have been doing some paid advertisements on TikTok, and that's actually been working very well. But to do it without the ad space, I have no idea. I don't have a
Yeah.
clue.
And as far as
Like
go ahead,
the
Twisty.
older generation where we are, this is something new for us. And I just picked up on TikTok within the last year, and I find myself watching it all the time
Hmm.
because it
It's
grabs an
funny.
algorithm of what you like to see. And I like to watch a lot of political stuff, so a lot of political stuff comes up, and and I like animal videos and things like that, and those are the things that come up all the time. And I like music videos, and that kind of stuff comes up. So I'm finding it enjoyable more so than I thought I would by far.
Right. I enjoy using it like for entertainment purposes, but I just don't know how to utilize it. Like, and it just it's so much. And do you guys have a team, or is it you guys that are doing that? It's you.
It's
Mostly Veritas.
yeah. Well, it's interesting though. What I have found out with TikTok, for us, for some reason, if I post something at 2 in the morning, that is where I get the most views.
Really?
Yeah, if I post it like 8 a.m. So if I do a post at 2 a.m. or if I do one at 8 a.m. and it's the same thing, the one at 2 a.m. will destroy the one at 8 a.m.
That's interesting.
I
How
have
does
no
that?
idea.
Yeah, how does that even make sense?
China. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I have no idea.
Seriously, it's always changing. Just when you think you got to figure it out, it changes on you.
Right? Yeah. No, that's true. That's so true.
I don't know.
But it is what it is. I mean, the reality of it is consistency, right?
Right.
Just keep posting every day. And sometimes I post things that I don't want to post, but you got to put something out there.
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot just because like I always say like I don't think anything I do is very important, right? Like so it's to be constantly like sharing and posting it feels like I would be annoying. But it's a necessary evil.
It is. If you think about it, it's almost a form of narcissism.
Yes, exactly.
Look at me.
Yeah, and
But that's the society we live in, though.
it's such a bizarre thing because like I try and do stuff for the radio show and start trying to do stuff for this, like taking a selfie or even having like a camera on me for doing whatever I'm doing. It's just very strange to me.
No,
I
I
feel like
get it. Yeah,
I missed like I'm 42. I feel like if I was like maybe 6, 7 years younger, it might be a little bit like easier and like more commonplace, like as a human because I would have been around it like more. But it just feels very strange.
well, I mean, you also got to think our generation. We were around for the start of all of this,
Right. Yeah.
internet, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're
So
just
I
trying
remember
to.
you still using floppy disks,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember when Google came out?
right? Yeah,
I remember barely using email when I was in college. Barely.
yeah. It was when I was active duty. So I enlisted in '99. Everybody had their own email chain throughout the whole military system, and even then, it was kind of scarce. But they were using it. I mean, I it's funny though. When we first started doing land nav courses, we were using GPS, and I didn't realize it at the time. But like it was, you remember the old bag phones?
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah.
old bag phones. That's how big this thing was, and it had like a screen on it, probably about that. Let me get in frame. Probably about that big,
Hmm.
and it was a green screen, and that's what GPS was back in '99, 2000.
Wow.
And look where it's at now.
Yeah. Right on your phone.
Crazy.
The phone's gonna be the death of us. That's. I mean, what a game changer that was.
Oh, how about it?
Yeah. Blessing and a curse. I always
And
just
now we're.
pray.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say like, and now we're using emojis like hieroglyphs.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like going backwards in time.
Yeah. I always say I just hope my kids uh are super smart and figure it all out so that they can take care of me when I'm just done with it all.
I feel you there.
I'm praying.
I
But
feel you, man.
yeah, it's just like I don't know. Um one thing I saw, you guys have music in a bunch of movies. Five.
Five horror films coming out this year.
Oh,
So it
so
all
those aren't out,
started.
those
So
aren't out yet? The
new,
movies? Oh,
not
cool.
yet. So it all started with. All right. So this is one of the um, connections that we made through Josh Balls. So on our last EP, we did something we'd never done before, which was used orchestration. We'd never done that before. It's always been like keys and synth. So that introduced us to Frank Dormani, and Frank Dormani did all the orchestration for the last EP, and he did all the orchestration for this EP as well. Um, he does orchestration for movies for Amazon, Lifetime, Hulu, stuff like that. He was working on a movie called The Boy from Below, and he reached out to me and he goes, "Dude, I think one of your songs would be fantastic in this film. Let me talk to the director." I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, man, why not? I mean, it's it works for both of us because he did the orchestration on that song, all right, and it's going to be in the film that he's doing the orchestration for the film. So the director loved it, was like, yeah, absolutely right away. So The Boy from Below took it. So our song Pray is going to be in the movie The Boy from Below. And then I guess these directors talk to one another because out of the blue, I got a message on my personal Facebook page from a director doing another film called Skate to Hell. He's like, hey, I'd like to have one of your songs in my film. So Skate to Hell is going to feature the song Death Note. I think the third movie that came from that was Death Woods, which was another Frank Dormani hookup. And what's really cool about Death Woods is one of the actors in the movie Death Woods is the guitar player from Ice Nine Kills, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
From there, we got Blood on the Bleachers. And then just recently, Frank hooked us up with another film, The Slasher Nurse, which the premiere for that is February 8th in Winchester, Virginia. And I think Twisty, Johnny, and I think are going to go down for that for the premiere.
Have you seen any of these yet?
Mm-mm.
No?
Not yet.
I love horror films. Strangers, I can't watch because they have masks.
You can watch a horror film as long as there's no mask. So, like,
Yeah.
no Jason for you.
I mean,
No Halloween.
yeah, I'll watch those. They're not as creepy, I don't think. But
What about Leatherface?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
The face you make while
They don't bother me too much. It's yeah. It's
well, it's
like
the face you make while wearing other people's faces.
Yeah, no. No. Are these movies going to be like you know on the streaming services, or do you know that information?
The only one I know right now off the top of my head is Blood on the Bleachers is supposed to be on Amazon, Tubi, and Hulu. I think so, as of right now. I'm sure all the other ones will wind up getting on streaming services as well.
Well, please let me know when you find out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when they're released. That's awesome. Um, I always really enjoy music tied to movies and certain scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It has this ability to really like elevate that whole thing. So that's really cool. You're part of that.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty exciting. I know we were stoked when we got the first one, and then the other four just was like a domino effect.
It's awesome. And they'll all be out this year?
From what I understand, yeah, all of them will be out this year.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that.
Me too. And I think we have an idea of doing a like Suicide Puppets watch party.
Okay.
Like we may do like a live stream or something while we're watching the film, and maybe only do the live part when our song pops up in the movie or something like that. But, I think I'm working. I'm working with the director from The Boy from Below and The Slasher Nurse to get them up here because there's a theater in Harrisburg that will play the movie.
Okay.
So I'm trying to coordinate that.
That's cool. That's exciting.
Hell yeah.
I noticed you have merch for sale, and Twisty is wearing one of the shirts that I really dig. And that's for Piggy, right?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. Who does your merch?
Twisty, turn around, show him the back. If you'd be so kind.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
Run, little piggy, run.
Who does your merch?
Johnny.
Like the design?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he does most of the design work. He works for a printing company.
Which one?
So we just go through Artistic Image out in I think they're what like Liverpool, I think, John.
Or Newport.
Twisty. Newport.
Yeah, I just asked. I used to work for a screen printing company for a couple years. I took a hiatus from radio.
Oh, right on.
when COVID hit. But that's a cool industry.
Oh, he's always complaining about it being hot. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Summertime it gets
Only
hot.
when it's summer. Yeah.
Summertime it gets real hot.
Yeah, he said like 110, 120
Yeah.
degrees, and I said it's miserable.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
if you look at the shirt that Twisty's wearing, the pig head is that actually that I can't remember if that's just like a regular pig head. Oh, it's the pig from Lord of the Flies. It's the pig head from Lord of the Flies, and then the body is Leatherface.
Oh
Put the
nice.
two together.
That's sweet. And that's available for obviously at shows, but can people get that online too or
Yep, puppetmerch.com, where you can get all your Suicide Puppets swag.
puppetmerch.com?
And we have vinyl for sale on there too.
Vinyl.
Cool.
That's what a I don't get it.
Colored vinyl too, man.
Oh, sick. I'm not a vinyl guy.
That's all right. Not well. It's one of those weird things where like it was popular back in like the 70s and 80s and
Hmm.
whatnot, and then it kind of we got to like CDs and tapes or tapes and CDs, and now everything's digital, and then vinyl's coming back, and believe it or not, cassette tapes are coming back.
I heard
Where the hell are
that.
you gonna play one?
I have no idea. Well, that's why I don't like records.
Well,
I used,
if you go on Marketplace, those old big boom boxes, they're like $700-800 a piece now.
wow.
Damn! I should have kept all mine.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
You know, the ones you had on your shoulder.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hold out in
those
front of
things
your
are going
girlfriend's
for
house.
outrageous money now. Couldn't believe it.
Crazy.
I probably took 3 of those away.
I mean, I love vinyl because like so I was, I never saw the 8-track. I was always saw cassettes and CDs and obviously digital and then vinyl came back, but like I have a pretty extensive CD collection. And then so vinyl to me was just like this like bigger thing to have. And I'm not getting involved with this. Plus I have nowhere to play it. Yeah, you could buy a record player, but I just like I'm not doing this. But I like the idea. Because one thing I hate about digital is like there's no physical thing to hold and flip through and I think vinyl's cool in that you have colored vinyl and you have a lot of the art aspect
Mm-hmm.
of that. So that's cool. I like that a lot, but I just can't get into it.
Oh, that's all right, man. Like, and it's interesting you bring up the art aspect of it because there's a lot of people that buy vinyl nowadays just for the art,
Just for the art, yeah.
just for the art aspect of it, and I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to give the people what they want.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And there's a ton of people that want it.
Hey, if they're buying it, go for it.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Especially if it's colored. Colored is worth
That
it.
is sick. I mean, what color is yours?
Green, but it's like an opaque green, so you can almost see through it.
I was gonna say maybe red.
Well, we initially wanted green with red splatter, but that got too costly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. How expensive? I mean, you don't have to say a price, but like it's super expensive.
It's a lot more expensive than CDs. Yeah, it wound up being we got what 100 albums.
17 or 18.
Yeah, it was like $17 a pop, something like
Yeah.
that.
That's not terrible,
No,
but yeah.
but times 100.
Oh yeah, it adds up for sure. Well, good thing you guys had those day jobs, those
Yeah,
businesses,
right. Yeah,
Well, you have to look at it as a business.
right?
So you got to have merch and things that people want.
Right.
We stopped looking at it as fun many years ago. I mean, it's fun to us, but
oh yeah,
you still have to look at it as a business. So we've been coming up with different ideas, and like the serial killer archive. That was costly to make those.
Oh yeah. Well,
we still made them to put them out.
can you dude, Twisty, you got them right there. Can't you just grab one real quick?
I don't have any. You have them. You have them.
No. They're in the
No one
I
has
trailer.
don't
that.
have any made up.
No
I
one
have
has that.
I
No.
have the thumb drive.
Oh well, yeah. Show them the thumb drive at least.
Oh, a little coffin. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's creative. Yeah, that's neat.
I have one of the boxes.
Yeah, and
There's
it
a
falls in line with who we are. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
there was a band.
So here's the box.
Okay.
What we do is we put dirt inside the box. We put the coffin down in, and we got these little shovels that go in, and we put a little
headstone.
headstone in there, and you have to dig the thumb drive up.
That's amazing. What a cool idea.
So comes in this box, and
Yeah,
You gotta
our
go.
signatures are on the back and a bloody handprint, and
that's awesome.
You gotta go grave robbing.
yeah, you basically got to go grave robbing to get the CD. And on there is everything we've recorded.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
28 or 30 songs or something. I don't know what it is. It's a lot.
Whose idea was that?
So
Whose idea was that?
It started out as Twisty's idea.
yeah, and then we kind of evolved it and turned it into a bunch of different things. And this is what our final product was.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was a band, I forget the name of the band, up here. They're no longer together, but they had it looked like a pack of cigarettes. There's a thumb drive in that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
That's what we strive at.
Yeah,
We strive
I mean,
at
you got it.
bringing up ideas that no one's done.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and you gotta stay creative. You know what I mean? And that's half the fun of being in a band is the creative side of things. You know what I mean? Like you can think outside of the box. Be like, oh, what if we did this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Half the stuff we come up with, like we probably shouldn't do that, but some of the other stuff is like,
Who
yeah,
cares?
we could definitely get away with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I'm kind of like in awe of that. That's such a cool idea.
It's
Thanks, man.
interactive too. So you get to go in there, you take your shovel, and you dig it up and you pull it out, and
You guys should do
No.
those.
It also comes with a little instruction pamphlet too. So we played off of Beetlejuice instead of it's the same book cover, but we changed the words. Instead of handbook for the recently deceased, it's this handbook for the recently slaughtered. And if you turn it over on its back, it tells you how to take the USB drive out.
Oh wow,
So
right there
there
it
it is.
that's so cool.
It comes with instructions.
For us dummies out there.
Believe it or not, most people don't know that you can plug a thumb drive into your car, into your USB port, and
Right.
play music.
Yeah.
No, dude, my case in point, my Escalade does not have a CD player in it.
My car doesn't.
My truck doesn't.
Yeah.
I use a
It's all
USB port all the time. That's how I listen to music. Plug it in, go.
Yeah, USB or Bluetooth.
Right. And of course, listen
So,
to
but
radio.
this is the way of getting an album without having a CD or a record or tape or whatever.
Yeah, well, of course, radio too. I
Of
mean, no
course, yeah.
satellite.
No satellite, just regular terrestrial radio.
Good old AM, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I always wonder if radio will ever go away.
I
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it's free.
It's free. I mean, unless you do the satellite thing, but yeah, I mean, it's
Right.
free, and it's such a huge outlet source for media in general.
Yeah.
It'll never go away.
I hope not. That's how I get paid. That'd be bad news.
And and you know what? Though earlier, you said whatever you don't think what you do is important. What you do is very important, man. Like you're bringing awareness to people in the NEPA area, if I could speak English, about bands that they probably would have never heard of otherwise.
I hope so.
What you're doing is pretty important, man.
I hope so. That's like the dream, right? I hope that this like gets to a level where a band is put out a record and they're like, yo, we got to get on Popko's show. Like he's got this reach, and we'll get our music out there. Like That's the goal. That's the dream. That's why I do with the radio show too. It's hopefully people kind of, you know, flock to that to hear, what you guys are doing because it's so important. People forget that, Breaking Ben, as big as they are, you
Sure.
know, the lead singer was playing at the Voodoo Lounge to three people in early 2000s, like, or maybe late 90s, but like all, all those national act bands, like they started somewhere.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Oh
Wasn't
yeah, dude.
the wasn't the singer from Breaking Ben JB's neighbor?
I have no idea. I don't know if him and
I
John
think he
Bethel were
lived. I
neighbors
think
or
he
not.
lived right up the road from John.
you may have.
I'm almost positive he did.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm not sure where he's from.
Small world.
I'll never forget the first time I met
Well,
him. He was he just bought a car, and it was a Pontiac. This is 2003, I want to say, 03, 04. And he just bought a car, and it was purple, and he had no idea it was purple. He bought it at like dusk. He thought it was black.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, it was purple. So Pontiac something.
Was it at least a dark purple? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was darker. Yeah, but it was definitely purple.
I mean, but as far as we're concerned, purple is a cool color because it goes
Yeah,
with our Halloween horror theme. You know,
absolutely, absolutely.
he just saying that because his kid's purple.
one of my kits. So yeah, so I have an endorsement through SJC Drums, and I have two kits by them. I have the purple kit, which used to go out on tour, and now I have my red blood dripping skull kit, which is the new tour kit.
A couple questions. I'll let you guys go. I know it's getting kind of late. Well, first, is there a score check on the game?
17-10 Notre Dame. I don't want to talk about it
Oh
right now.
wow, that's not good. Shit.
So 11 minutes left in the game, so it's a
All
lot of
right,
time.
we'll wrap this up so you can get back to the game. As far as you guys have full-time jobs, you own businesses. What keeps you going in the band? Like why what keeps you going? Like creating and these idea with the coffin and stuff, which is awesome. Like what keeps that spark alive?
Passion for music, I would say. Just
What
love
was that?
doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. The love of music, the love of being able to create. I do it because and I said this earlier, as with having PTSD and anxiety, it's extremely cathartic for me. Being with these guys and being able to create really helps me out mentally, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and thank you for
So
your service,
it
by the way.
really. Thanks for paying your taxes. I don't. I never know what to say. I didn't want to go to college. I don't.
Dude, there's I always say in this podcast too, like there's people put on this earth to do certain things, and that's definitely one of them. I mean, there's no way, like, unless I had to, that's not something that I would do or that I think I could do. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no sweat. Yeah,
But
It helps me not become a serial killer. I don't know.
there's that. Well, we still think you are, but
yeah, you've already discovered that you are.
Hey.
but but yeah, I just love creating and I love hanging out with these guys. I love playing music. Um, and that's really the drive for me. And my enjoys the music, doesn't necessarily enjoy the vocals. She's not into screaming. What can I say? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then my daughter is in love with Twisty.
Oh,
That's her buddy.
Yeah,
Every time Twisty calls, I'm like, "Hey, your buddy's on the phone." She's like, "Hi."
where we go? Chicago, Illinois. So I think we went to Illinois. I rode with you guys up there, and that was it.
Oh yeah, yeah, because we went up in my truck. We were playing
Yeah,
at a music festival in just outside of Chicago. I forget the name of the town. Lombard, Illinois.
yeah.
We're playing a music festival out there, and Twisty rode in the back of my truck, with my daughter, and then my wife and I were up front, and that's where Twisty and my daughter bonded.
That was years ago at this point.
Yeah, that was like towards the end of the pandemic when we
Did you
did
share?
that.
19 or
Did you
I think it's
share some life
2019.
stories?
We were in the midst of the pandemic.
Wait, what was that, dude?
I was like, did you just share some life stories, some knowledge?
She's the only one
Yeah.
that knows where they're buried. She's too young to remember.
I was gonna say, I think she was only like 4 at the time. You know,
Oh, geez.
4 or 5.
That's funny. Daddy, who's this guy?
It's her buddy.
It's funny. Last question, I'll let you guys go. Obviously EP's coming out in February. EP release show February 15th at Love Drafts. We've got the songs and some movies coming out. What else you got planned for 2025? Where I mean it's early January. Got a full year ahead of us. Any big plans?
Hopefully we'll have a tour announcement coming out soon after the release of the EP. That's what we're hoping for. I know we're definitely going to record new music. I think we have like 4 million songs in the barrel, just waiting to come out.
Yeah. We're already working on them. We've already got enough for another full album if we want it. So
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the short term right now. As far as long term goals, we don't have anything in play right now.
Okay.
But that's not to say come February, March, a whole big thing just kind of opened up. So
A show at the Ritz, maybe.
I mean, it's possible. Our manager does own it.
Yeah. I think we can make that happen.
It's funny. Yeah, when we were there, when we were up there, Twisty, it was last September.
yeah, with green jello. Green jelly?
Green jelly.
Whatever.
Jelly, one of the two. Oh, damn it. Knocking stuff over. Yeah, but that was the last time we were up at the Ritz. We'll get back up there for sure.
Cool.
We'll let you know when we do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck. Oh, and real quick, Kate from Rock 107 said hi.
Oh, tell her I said hi. I'm the
Yeah.
one that reached out to her.
Yeah, that's what she said.
And then she gave me your information.
Perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. So, yeah,
Tell her
best
we
of
said
luck
hi
with,
back.
I will tell her. But best of luck with everything this year. Great luck with the EP release show.
Thank you.
And where can people find you online?
You can go to suicidepuppets.com. You can go to puppetmerch.com. We're on Instagram, Suicide Puppets. Facebook, we're Suicide Puppets Band. Twitter, we're Suicide Puppets X, whatever the heck it's called these days.
Yeah.
YouTube, we're at Suicide Puppets 1. Actually, we also have a link tree, which is Suicide Puppets. Just go to that, and that takes you everywhere.
Yeah. Thank God for Linktree.
Yeah, right?
Thank God for the internet.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's a love-hate.
Yeah, it really is. I'm dreading my children being involved with it when they get older, but we'll see. Hopefully, maybe it'll go away. It'll all go away.
Snap. Penn State just tied. Just saying.
Wow. Well, that's a perfect time to let you go. They tied it up. Go watch the game. I appreciate you guys taking the time on a Thursday night to chat with me.
Hey, I appreciate you having us on, man. This has been fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Best of luck with everything. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll see you.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.